Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one person is dead and another is seriously hurt after a house fire in Rockcastle County. And Knott County welcomed a new restaurant Saturday. We'll tell you what's on the menu.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Caroline Mueller here with you on this Monday, January 5th. The time is now 6:28. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Desmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm gonna be honest, I have not been up at this hour in quite some time, and so I kind of forgot, I do need to give myself a little bit extra time to defrost that windshield. I was sitting there shivering, kind of forgot what that was like.
Yeah, no, it was actually super unfortunate out there in the cold early on in the morning. Yeah, it's definitely one of those days you should set out some extra time just to warm up your car, or else you'll just be freezing, because we're talking temperatures below freezing for many folks here in the mountains. Freezing is that 32-degree mark, and we're seeing that right now in Moorhead. 28 in Stanton, 27 in London, and Somerset. 25 is the coldest temperature in Monticello. In Clintwood, I actually lied. It appears that it's colder in Jonesville, 23 degrees. So it's cold this morning. Trust me, you'll need to wear your layers. But by the afternoon, thankfully, not looking too bad as we warm into a mixture of the upper 50s and low 60s. Now, not only are we seeing those temperatures not looking too bad, we're also looking at mostly sunny skies to start off your day, which is going to be pretty great. And we will stay nice and dry again. No chance of rain for today, but we will see that returning as we're heading into your Tuesday. Caroline.
Thanks, Megan. One person is dead after a house fire in Bath County. Kentucky State Police say they were called to a home on Rooster Run Road around 6:30 Thursday morning. When they arrived, they say crews found 77-year-old Josephine Patton inside of the home. She was taken to St. Joseph Hospital in Mount Sterling, where she was pronounced dead. One person is dead and another is seriously hurt after a house fire in Rockcastle County. Kentucky State Police say it happened at the home in the Broadhead community just before 7 a.m. Saturday. Several fire departments responded to the scene and found the home fully engulfed in flames. They found one person dead and another with severe burns. Western Rockcastle Fire Department Chief Jimmy Clark says it took crews about 2 hours to fully put out the fire. He says they unfortunately see more house fires during the winter months.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I would say is if you realize you have a problem outlet, get somebody to look at it. Don't just ignore it, because that problem could be a bigger problem at 2 o'clock in the morning when you and your family are asleep.
Kentucky State Police are still working to determine what caused the fire. The man accused of kidnapping a Kentucky teenager was brought to the Commonwealth Friday. Police in Maryland arrested 37-year-old Christian Delgado over a week ago. They found 13-year-old Winter Wagner at his home. Winter went missing from Rockcastle County in October. Delgado was charged with kidnapping her. He has a court appearance scheduled for this morning, and this afternoon deputies will hold a news conference about the case. A Wolfe County woman is behind bars charged with fetal homicide after police say she took abortion pills. An arrest citation says 35-year-old Melinda Spencer told officers she took the pills because the baby was not her boyfriend's. The abortion pill is illegal in Kentucky as the state has a near total abortion ban. Samantha Valentino spoke with those on both sides of the issue.
Melinda Spencer is charged with fetal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and evidence tampering. Kentucky State Police say she admitted to taking abortion pills she ordered online, then placing the fetus in a light bulb box and burying it in her backyard. Court records show Spencer went to a clinic in Campton and told them she had a medical abortion. That clinic then called police. Spencer's arrest comes as Kentucky has a near total abortion ban since Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022 and the Commonwealth's trigger law took effect. The only time abortion is allowed is when a doctor deems it necessary to prevent prevent death or serious injury to the pregnant person.
This is a really terrifying reality.
Angela Cooper with the ACLU of Kentucky says reading the definitions and exception statute of the KRS covering fetal homicide, she's confused as to why Spencer is facing the charge.
And that exception specifically says that nothing in the chapter applies to a person who has taken action that causes the death of their unborn child, and it seems to be written specifically for like a self-managed abortion.
Cooper says research shows abortion bans don't stop abortions, they only stop safe and legal ones. She also says Kentucky's near-total abortion ban is harming people who miscarry because they're scared to seek medical care out of fear they'll be criminally charged.
You have people who are suffering very severe medical consequences, up to and including the loss of their fertility, because they're afraid to talk to their doctors about what's going on.
Kentucky Right to Life Executive Director Adia Wishner says Spencer's case highlights a need to strengthen laws against bringing the abortion pill into Kentucky.
Something that we're working on and working with the legislators, the illegal trafficking of these medications, the fact that she would get the medication without wraparound medical services, the fact that they're being trafficked and sold online.
Wishner says Spencer's arrest underscores a need for Kentucky Right to Life to inform pregnant people of the resources available to them.
We have to find a better way to bombard them with messages that make sure that they know the truth about themselves. They know that their support is out there should they find themselves with an unplanned pregnancy.
Wishner calls Spencer's situation devastating.
She was on her own, and that's probably the greatest tragedy. And the other tragedy, of course, is that a child's life was lost.
In Frankfort, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
To hear more from both Right to Life and the ACLU, head to this story at WYMT.com. An Eastern Kentucky man whose fiance died in a federal drug case, who then was arrested himself, is talking to us from jail. Caleb Thompson is accused of threatening police. Thompson's fiancee, Rochelle Dawson, died last year after police say Brian Epperson gave her and other women a lethal dose of meth. Thompson says what he did was simply normal frustration over a lack of justice.
I didn't cause no problems. I haven't been violent to anyone, but I'm getting treated like it. I get treated like I'm the most violent criminal there is.
Epperson's case is moving through the federal and state court systems. Thompson is scheduled to be in court today. A new Knott County restaurant held a soft opening Friday and welcomed Not Nourish to downtown Hindman. Not Nourish aims to bring convenient yet healthier food options to the county. Hindman city officials say they purchased the building nearly 3 years ago and have had great success with the Bean Shack and ice cream shop. And they're hoping this restaurant continues the growth downtown.
So I'm hoping that we'll be part of the revival. And I think the Bean Shack has already done some great things for downtown. But I'm hoping that Not Nourish will bring in even more foot traffic and just be good for all the local businesses.
Not Nourish opened Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Owners say although they are still finalizing their permanent schedule, they are planning to be open every weekend and offer meal prep pickup on Fridays and Sundays. A Floyd County family's life was turned upside down when a trip to the beach ended in an unexpected diagnosis. Now they are relying on their community to help them through. WYMT's Buddy Forbes shares their story.
A family vacation to Florida in April was the beginning of a journey Sasha and Bailey Combs never expected to take.
It's every parent's worst nightmare.
Their 2-year-old son Axel got sick, and their family pediatrician suggested they seek immediate care at a nearby hospital. That visit turned into a diagnosis of aggressive leukemia.
He's even too little to understand that he has cancer.
They had to stay in Florida until May 12th before Axel was stable enough to transfer his care to Cincinnati.
Scary, and it's mentally and physically draining.
The Floyd County family then had to relocate closer to the hospital to accommodate Axel's frontline chemo treatments, a process they only had a week to figure out. But they say they were blessed with the support of their community and the Kentucky State Police, where Bailey works as a trooper reporter for Post 9.
It's been a big blessing, not just Post 9, actually all across the state. We've had people reach out from different posts.
Bailey said that law enforcement love spread across departments and state lines, with helpers pouring in even while the family was still in Florida.
I say the Florida Highway Patrol probably stopped 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And checked on us. And they brought gifts, brought snacks, they brought us movies.
Since then, Axel has celebrated a birthday, the holidays, and undergone more than 50 blood transfusions, more than 10 spinal taps, and countless chemotherapy treatments as part of a 3-year plan to attack the cancer.
It's so hard watching him go through that because, like I said, he should just be able to be a baby.
His parents say Axel, now 3 years old, has been in good spirits, holding to his energy and his appetite.
Okay.
And KSP Post 6, where Bailey was able to transfer to be with his family, has helped him be a kid, even though he and his brother Bennett have to stay isolated.
They set up trick-or-treating inside of Post, and on the outside, they let him sit in the helicopter, and it was just for Axel and Bennett. It was just for those two. So that was if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have got to go trick-or-treating.
Sasha says this journey is something they have a hard time putting into words, but they are using it to raise awareness and create extended community, establishing an Angels for Axel social media movement.
This army of angels is what we call them. If we have to go through this journey, we're so appreciative that God sent us all these people to kind of try to help us as much as they can.
Since the family will remain in a temporary home 3 hours from Floyd County until at least spring, with a less aggressive treatment beginning at that time, the group has helped with expenses and other needs.
We viewed everybody that has supported us since this happened as our Earthside angels.
A gift Axel's parents say they could never repay, as they pray to soon say
Bye.
to cancer. Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The family has already seen more than $2 million in medical expenses billed to their insurance and is still paying the bills on their permanent and temporary homes. You can follow Axel's journey and see how to contribute to the family's expenses over on our website. Some Kentucky students are heading back to class today after winter break. It comes as health officials are warning of a surge in superflu cases. They say schools can become a super spreader this time of year. The Woodford County Health Department says the big 3 respiratory viruses are peaking right now. Health departments are also reporting more hospitalizations and flu-like illnesses. They say the simplest thing your family can practice is frequent hand washing.
I always tell my kids, you need to scrub for at least 20 seconds. Make sure you get underneath your fingernails. And I always tell my kids, keep your hands to yourself. Make sure you're using your school supplies and your school supplies only.
Health experts also say to keep kids home with diarrhea or even a low-grade fever. Consider at-home flu and COVID tests and make sure everyone is up to date on vaccines.
And we're still talking about a little bit of clouds as you're starting off your morning, but for the most part, it's exited our region, really just our far eastern counties hanging on to a little bit of that cloud cover. Now, as we head throughout the day, you'll notice some mostly sunny skies for the first half, and then as we're heading into the evening, clouds will be returning, looking at mostly cloudy skies overnight, but we're staying dry all day long. There's the best part of that news. Now, in terms of temperatures, though, it is a colder morning. You're going to need those layers as we're talking 20s and 30s, but thankfully, by the time we head into the afternoon, rather pleasant conditions will take over with upper 50s and low 60s in that forecast. And again, looking at those mostly sunny skies. Here's a look at the bus stop forecast if you're heading off to school, as a lot of folks are returning back. We'll be looking at those 30s on the way. And by the time you're heading home, that's when we'll see those partly cloudy skies, upper 50s and low 60s. Caroline.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:42. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, beneath the surface, the ocean's chemistry is changing. We take a look at the impact of ocean acidification is having on the shellfish industry.